In the vast expanse of space near the arm, an unexpected surge of energy crackled, announcing the arrival of a monumental force. The HSS Thunderbolt, humanity's first interstellar dreadnought, materialized with a sleek hull that gleamed under the light of distant stars. On the bridge, Captain Evelyn Chen stood tall, her dark eyes fixed on the main view screen as the ship's advanced AI, a responsive intelligence assistant, declared, "Captain, we have successfully emerged from hyperspace. All systems nominal." Evelyn nodded, a hint of a smile playing on her lips. "Excellent. Status report on our location. We are approximately 2.3 light-years from the edge of Confederation space. No immediate threats detected," came the response. The bridge crew worked diligently at their stations, excitement mingling with tension in the air. Humanity had kept its technological advancements secret for decades, and now they were about to announce their presence to the galactic community in a way no one would forget. Lieutenant Commander Raj Patel, the ship's tactical officer, spoke up. "Captain, we are detecting multiple energy signatures consistent with Confederation patrol vessels. They are on an intercept course." Chen's smile widened. "Right on schedule. Let's give them a show they won't forget. Shields up, but weapons remain powered down. We're here to make an impression, not start a war." As the Thunderbolt glided gracefully through space, its very presence sent shockwaves through the Galactic Confederation. At the nearest Confederation outpost, alarms blared and confusion reigned. Grand Admiral Zix, a towering insectoid with iridescent wings, stared at the holographic display in disbelief. "Impossible," he chittered. "The humans are centuries away from this level of technology. This must be some trick." His eyed, a slender blue-skinned Aquarian named Lurol, approached cautiously. "Sir, the energy readings are off the charts. Whatever that ship is, it's beyond anything in our database." Zix's compound eyes flickered with a mix of fear and anger. "Contact the High Council immediately. We may have a first-class crisis on our hands." Back on the Thunderbolt, Captain Chen observed as the Confederation ships approached. They were impressive in their own right, sleek and obviously advanced, but they paled in comparison to the human dreadnought. "Open a channel to the lead Confederation vessel," Chen ordered. The channel opened, and the commander's voice crackled through. "Human vessel, this is Commander Krell of the Confederation Defense Force. Your presence here is unexpected and potentially in violation of multiple treaties. Please power down your engines and prepare to be boarded." Chen chuckled softly. "I'm afraid that won't be possible, Commander. We're here to negotiate as equals, not as subjects. Perhaps we could arrange a meeting on neutral ground." The silence that followed was deafening. Panic was setting in among the Confederation ships. The humans, long considered a primitive species barely worth monitoring, had suddenly appeared with technology that rivaled, even surpassed, their own. Krell's voice came through again, this time with a noticeable tremor. "Stand by, Thunderbolt. We need to consult with our superiors." As the Confederation ships held their position, clearly unsure of how to proceed, Chen turned to her crew. "Well done, everyone. Phase 1 of Operation Thunderclap is complete. Now let's see how the galaxy reacts to humanity's grand entrance." Dr. Yuki Tanaka, the ship's chief scientist, approached Chen with a tablet in hand. "Captain, I've been analyzing the Confederation ships. Their technology is impressive, but there are clear vulnerabilities we could exploit if needed." Chen nodded, her expression serious. "Let's hope it doesn't come to that, Doctor. We're here to establish our place in the galactic community, not conquer it. But it's good to know we have the edge if things go south." As the hours ticked by, the tension in space continued to build. The Thunderbolt remained a silent, imposing presence while the Confederation scrambled to decide how to handle this unexpected development. In the depths of Confederation space, the High Council convened an emergency session. Representatives from dozens of species argued and debated, their voices rising in a cacophony of alien languages. High Councillor Vexia, a wise and ancient being of pure energy, finally called for order. Fellow counselors, we face an unprecedented situation. The humans, whom we have long dismissed, have arrived on our doorstep with technology that challenges our supremacy. We must decide, and decide quickly, how to respond. As the council debated, back on the Thunderbolt, Captain Chen prepared for the next phase of humanity's plan. Whatever came next, the galaxy would never be the same. Humanity had arrived, and they were here to stay. The red dwarf star cast an eerie glow across the desolate landscape of Kepler 186f. Dr. Elara Chen squinted through her helmet's visor, the alien world's rust-colored dirt crunching beneath her boots. She dreamed of this moment since childhood, to be the first human to set foot on a potentially habitable exoplanet. Yet the barren vista before her seemed to mock those youthful fantasies. "Anything interesting, Chen?" Captain Rodriguez's voice crackled through her comms. Elara sighed. "Negative. Just more rocks and dust. Are you sure the probe detected anomalous energy readings in this sector?" "Affirmative. Keep searching. We didn't come 500 light-years for a geology lesson." Elara trudged onward, her suit's sensors continuously scanning for anything out of the ordinary. The mission had been a calculated risk, humanity's first attempt at faster-than-light travel using the experimental Alcubierre drive. They'd succeeded in crossing vast distances, but so far their destination seemed devoid of the secrets they'd hoped to uncover. As the hours wore on, Elara's optimism waned. She crested yet another rocky hill, prepared for another disappointing view. Instead, her breath caught in her throat. There, nestled in a shallow valley, stood a structure that had no right to exist on this untouched world. Its surface gleamed with an iridescent sheen, its geometries defying human architecture. It was unmistakably artificial and alien. "Captain," Elara whispered, her voice trembling with excitement. "I found something. You're going to want to see this." Within minutes, the entire exploration team converged on Elara's position. They stood in awe before the alien edifice, its presence both thrilling and terrifying. "Incredible," breathed Dr. Liamoto, the team's xenoarchaeologist. "This structure, it's not just old. If my initial readings are correct, it predates the formation of Earth itself." Captain Rodriguez stepped forward, her hand hovering near her sidearm. "Any signs of current occupation or defenses?" Elara shook her head. "Nothing active that I can detect. It seems dormant." "Then let's wake it up," Rodriguez declared. "Chen, you made the discovery. Care to do the honors?" Heart pounding, Elara approached the structure. Its surface rippled like liquid metal, reflecting distorted images of the exploration team. She reached out, her gloved hand inches from making contact. "Wait," Dr. Liamoto called out. "We should establish proper quarantine protocols before," but it was too late. Elara's fingers brushed against the alien material. For a moment, nothing happened. Then, with a sound like 1,000 wind chimes, the structure came to life. Panels shifted and realigned. Lights pulsed in mesmerizing patterns, and at the center, an aperture arised open, revealing a swirling vortex of energy. It's a portal," Elara gasped. Before anyone could react, tendrils of light shot out from the vortex, enveloping each member of the team. Elara felt a sensation like static electricity dancing across her skin, even through her suit. Her vision blurred, and for a moment, she thought she glimpsed impossible vistas, alien worlds, distant galaxies, the very fabric of space-time itself. Then, as suddenly as it began, the light show ended. The team found themselves unchanged, but the alien structure had transformed. Where once stood an inscrutable monolith, now a sleek terminal pulsed with holographic displays. Dr. Liamoto approached cautiously, his eyes wide with wonder. "It's interfacing with our technology, translating itself." Symbols and equations scrolled across the holographic screens, star charts, wormhole schematics. The secrets of the universe laid bare. "My God," Captain Rodriguez whispered. Do you realize what this means? Ilara nodded, a smile spreading across her face. We've just changed everything. Humanity's place in the cosmos will never be the same. As the team began to analyze the wealth of data before them, none noticed the faint signal beaming out from the alien artifact. Across the vast emptiness of space, ancient systems stirred to life. Humanity had taken its first steps onto the galactic stage, but they were no longer alone. The next few weeks passed in a blur of discovery and excitement. The alien artifact, which the team had dubbed the Rosetta Sphere for its ability to translate vast amounts of cosmic data, proved to be an inexhaustible source of knowledge. Dr. Liamoto and his team worked around the clock, deciphering the secrets of long-dead civilizations and unraveling the mysteries of the universe. Ilara found herself at the center of it all, her initial discovery making her the de facto liaison between humanity and the ancient alien technology. She marveled at the elegance of the designs, the sheer scope of the information presented. Faster-than-light travel, once thought to be the pinnacle of human achievement, now seemed quaint in comparison to the wonders the Rosetta Sphere revealed. Dyson spheres, Chen, Dr. Liamoto exclaimed one day, his eyes gleaming with excitement. Not just theoretical constructs, but actual blueprints. And look here, evidence of galaxy-spanning civilizations that reshaped entire clusters to suit their needs. Ilara nodded, her mind reeling from the implications. It's incredible, Liamoto. But doesn't it make you wonder? If there were civilizations this advanced, where are they now? Why leave this artifact behind? The xenoarchaeologist's expression sobered. A fair question. Perhaps they transcended physical form, or maybe, he trailed off, leaving the darker possibilities unspoken. As the days wore on, the team made preparations to return to Earth. The Rosetta Sphere, to their amazement, was not anchored to Kepler 186f. With the right sequences input, it folded in on itself, condensing down to a portable form that hummed with latent energy. I still say this is a mistake, Dr. Liamoto argued as they prepared to board their ship. We should study it here, in isolation, bringing this technology back to Earth. We don't know what consequences it might have. Captain Rodriguez shook her head. Humanity deserves to share in this discovery, Doctor. The potential benefits far outweigh the risks. If only they knew how wrong those words would prove to be. The journey back to Earth was tense with anticipation. Faster-than-light travel made the return trip a matter of weeks rather than centuries, but for the crew, it felt like an eternity. Each of them imagined the accolades, the rapid advancements a discovery would bring. None of them anticipated the fear. As their ship entered the solar system, they were greeted not by a hero's welcome, but by a heavily armed military escort. The words of the grim-faced admiral who boarded their vessel chilled Ilara to her core. By order of the United Earth Government, you are hereby quarantined. Your discovery has put the entire human race at risk. The debriefing room was cold and sterile, a far cry from the warm reception Ilara and her team had imagined. Armed guards stood at attention along the walls, their expressions unreadable behind mirrored visors. At the center of the room, a holographic display flickered to life, showing a map of the Milky Way galaxy. Admiral Zeo, a stern-faced woman with steel-gray hair, addressed the exploration team. What you're about to see is classified at the highest levels. 2 days after you activated the alien artifact, we detected this. The holographic display zoomed in on a sector of space near the galactic core. A wave of energy pulsed outward, spreading like ripples on a pond. That wave has been traveling at speeds we previously thought impossible, Geo continued. It's as if you rang a cosmic doorbell, and now, something is answering. Captain Rodriguez leaned forward, her brow furrowed. With all due respect, Admiral, isn't this exactly what we hoped for? First contact. Geo's expression darkened. Not all contact is friendly, Captain. Our long-range sensors have detected massive fleet movements from multiple sectors. Some are converging on the source of that energy wave. Others, she paused, her gaze sweeping across the room. Others are heading straight for Earth. A stunned silence fell over the room. Ilara felt a knot forming in her stomach. Their discovery, meant to propel humanity forward, had instead put them in the crosshairs of unknown alien civilizations. Dr. Yamamoto was the first to break the silence. "Admiral, the Rosetta Sphere contains vast amounts of data. Surely there must be information about these other species, perhaps even ways to communicate peacefully." "We've been analyzing the data you brought back," Jay replied, "but it's like trying to drink from a fire hose. We need time we don't have." Ilara stood, her mind racing. "Then let us help. We've had weeks to familiarize ourselves with the artifact's systems. If there's a way to avert conflict, we'll find it." "The Great Filter," she read aloud. Yamamoto nodded grimly. "It's a concept in astrobiology. The idea that there's some great challenge or obstacle that prevents civilizations from reaching true galactic dominance. I always thought it was just a theory, but this," he gestured to the display, "this suggests it's real, and we just stumbled right into it." As Yamamoto explained further, the terrible truth became clear. The Rosetta Sphere wasn't just a repository of knowledge, it was a test. A challenge placed by some long-vanished precursor race, meant to identify civilizations ready to join the galactic community. Those who passed would be uplifted, granted access to unimaginable technologies and alliances. Those who failed. "We need to tell Admiral Zhao," Ilara said, her voice barely above a whisper. But before they could act, alarms blared throughout the facility. Over the intercom, a voice rang out, "Unidentified objects entering Earth's atmosphere. This is not a drill. All personnel report to emergency stations." Ilara and Yamamoto shared a look of dread. The alien fleets had arrived, and humanity's trial by fire was about to begin. As chaos erupted around them, Ilara made a split-second decision. "The sphere," she said to Yamamoto. "We need to interface with it directly. It's our only chance to communicate, to prove we're worthy." Yamamoto's eyes widened. "Chen, we don't know what that might do to a human mind. The risks are less than the risk of doing nothing," Ilara finished. She strode purposefully towards the containment unit housing the Rosetta Sphere, her heart pounding in her chest. As sirens wailed and panicked voices filled the air, Ilara placed her hands on the alien artifact. For a moment, nothing happened. Then, with a familiar chime, the sphere came to life. Energy coursed through Ilara's body, and her vision blurred. When it cleared, she found herself standing in a vast, star-filled void. Before her, shapes coalesced, alien forms beyond her wildest imagination. And somehow, she understood that the greatest challenge humanity had ever faced was about to begin. The first alien to address Ilara was a being of pure energy, its form constantly shifting and pulsing. When it spoke, the words resonated directly in her mind. "You have activated the crucible, young ones. Now you must prove your worth or face extinction." Ilara steeled herself, drawing on every ounce of diplomatic training she'd received. "We came seeking knowledge, not conflict. Surely there's a way we can." Silence. Another voice boomed. This one belonged to a towering crystalline entity. "Your species teeters on the edge of true spacefaring capability. You are dangerous, unpredictable. The galaxy has seen your kind before, and it rarely ends well." A third alien, this one a swirling mass of tentacles and eyes, interjected. "Perhaps, but potential exists within them. The crucible would not have activated for a truly unworthy race." As the alien council debated, Ilara's mind raced. She realized that this wasn't just a test of humanity's technological prowess, it was a judgment of their very nature. She thought of all the times throughout history when humanity had faced existential threats, only to emerge stronger. Of the countless acts of courage, compassion, and ingenuity that defined her species at its best. "Wait," she called out, her voice somehow carrying across the cosmic expanse. You're right to be cautious. Humanity is young, and we've made many mistakes. But we're also capable of incredible things. Of growth, of change. The aliens turned their attention back to her, that alien features unreadable. Ilara continued, her voice growing stronger. We've overcome our own worst instincts time and time again. We've united in the face of global threats. And now, standing on the brink of a larger universe, we're ready to learn, to contribute, to be part of something greater than ourselves. She held out her hands, a gesture of openness and peace. Give us a chance to prove ourselves, not just through tests and trials, but through cooperation. Let us show you who we truly are. For a long moment, silence reigned in the cosmic void. Then, slowly, the energy being approached Ilara. It reached out, tendrils of light intertwining with her outstretched fingers. Your words carry wisdom beyond your years, human, it said. Perhaps there is hope for your kind after all. As the connection was made, Ilara felt a rush of information flood her consciousness. Histories of countless civilizations, technologies beyond her wildest dreams, and most importantly, a path forward. She understood then that humanity's trial was not over. Far from it. But they had been granted a chance to prove themselves worthy of joining the galactic community. As her consciousness began to return to her physical body, Ilara heard one last message from the Alien Council. Go now. Prepare your people. The true challenge begins. With a gasp, Ilara's eyes flew open. She found herself back in the research facility, the Rosetta sphere pulsing gently beneath her hands. Dr. Liamoto and Admiral Zao stood nearby, their faces a mix of concern and awe. Dr. Chen, Dao said, her voice uncharacteristically gentle. What happened? The alien fleets. They've taken up positions around Earth, but they're not attacking. They seem to be waiting. Ilara took a deep breath, her mind still reeling from the cosmic experience. Admiral, she said, a smile slowly spreading across her face. We have a lot of work to do, but I think we just bought humanity a fighting chance. As the gravity of the situation settled over the room, Admiral Zao's comm unit chirped urgently. Her eyes widened as she listened to the incoming message. It seems we have an unexpected visitor, she announced, her voice taut with tension. A single alien craft has bypassed our defenses and is requesting permission to land. They claim to be ambassadors. Ilara's heart raced. This was happening faster than she'd anticipated. We need to meet with them, she insisted. This could be our chance to prove ourselves. Zhao nodded grimly. Agreed, but we proceed with caution. Dr. Chen, given your unique experience, I want you front and center for this meeting. Within the hour, Ilara found herself standing on a hastily prepared landing pad, flanked by heavily armed security personnel. The sleek alien craft descended from the sky, its surface rippling like liquid metal, reminiscent of the Rosetta sphere. As the ship touched down, a hatch rised open. A moment of tense silence followed, then two figures emerged. Ilara's breath caught in her throat. The aliens before her were unlike anything she'd seen in the cosmic void. Their bodies seemed to be composed of interlocking crystalline structures, shifting and realigning with each movement. Where a face might be on a human, they had a cluster of softly glowing orbs. Greetings, representatives of Earth, one of the aliens spoke, its voice a harmonious blend of tones that seemed to resonate in Ilara's very bones. We are the Silacine, and we come seeking alliance. Admiral Zhao stepped forward, her posture rigid. Alliance? Just hours ago, your fleets were poised to attack. Why should we trust you now? The Silacine beings turned their glowing orbs towards each other, a silent communication passing between them. Then, to everyone's shock, their crystalline forms began to shift and morph. Within moments, they had taken on roughly humanoid shapes. We apologize for the alarm we caused, the first Silacine said, its voice now sounding almost human. But surely you understand the need for caution when dealing with an unknown species. especially one that has activated the crucible. Ilara couldn't contain her curiosity any longer. The crucible, you mean the Rosetta sphere? You know about it. The second Silacene nodded, the motion still slightly alien despite its humanoid form. We have long sought it, as have many races. It is said to hold the key to transcendence, to passing the great filter that has claimed so many civilizations. And now that we've activated it, Ilara said slowly, realization dawning, everyone's watching to see what happens next. Precisely, the first Silacene confirmed. Some, like us, see potential in your species. Others see only threat. But all agree, the outcome of your trial will shape the future of this galaxy. Admiral Zao's eyes narrowed. And where do you stand in all this? Why seek alliance with us? The Silacene beings exchanged another silent glance before responding. Because we believe we are stronger together. Our civilizations are complementary. You possess creativity, adaptability, and a drive that we find fascinating. We offer technological expertise, cosmic understanding, and a network of alliances spanning sectors. Ilara's mind raced with the possibilities. An alliance with an advanced alien race could be exactly what humanity needed to face the challenges ahead. But the risks were equally enormous. What exactly would this alliance entail? She asked cautiously. The second Silacene stepped forward, its crystalline form shimmering in the sunlight. An exchange of knowledge and resources. We would share some of our technology, help you prepare for the trials ahead. In return, we ask for access to the Rosetta sphere and volunteers. Volunteers. Zaya's hand instinctively moved towards her sidearm. For what purpose? Integration, the Silacene replied simply. Our greatest strengths lie in our ability to adapt, to incorporate beneficial traits from other species. A melding of our crystalline forms with your biological ingenuity could yield incredible results. A heavy silence fell over the group as the implications sank in. Ilara's mind whirled with conflicting emotions, excitement at the potential advancements, fear of the unknown risks, and a deep sense of responsibility for the choice that lay before them. We need time to discuss this, Admiral Zao said finally. You understand that this decision cannot be made lightly. The Silacene nodded in unison. Of course, but do not take too long. Other races are watching, waiting. Some may not be as patient as we are. As the alien ambassadors returned to their ship, promising to await Earth's decision in orbit, Ilara turned to Admiral Zao. What now? She asked, her voice barely above a whisper. Zhao's expression was grim but determined. Now, Dr. Chen, we plan for every possible outcome, because one way or another, the future of our entire species hangs in the balance. The next few days were a whirlwind of activity. World leaders convened in emergency sessions, scientists pored over the data from the Rosetta sphere, and military strategists ran countless simulations of potential conflicts. Ilara found herself at the center of it all, her unique experience with the cosmic void making her an invaluable asset. She worked tirelessly, helping to decode more of the sphere's secrets, while also providing insights into the alien psyche. It was during one late-night research session that Dr. Liamoto made a startling discovery. Ilara, look at this, he called out, his voice trembling with excitement. I think I found a reference to the Silacene in the sphere's database. Ilara hurried over, her eyes widening as she took in the holographic display. Are you sure? Yamato nodded emphatically. The description matches perfectly. And there's more. According to this, the Silacene were once organic beings, not unlike us. They chose to evolve into their current crystalline form as a means of surviving some great calamity. The great filter, Ilara breathed. They found a way to overcome it. Exactly, Yamato agreed. But look here, it came at a cost. They sacrificed much of their creativity, their emotional depth. That's why they're so interested in us. We have what they've lost. As the implications of this discovery sank in, Ilara felt a renewed sense of purpose. Humanity might be young and untested, but they had something unique to offer the galactic community. When the time came to make their decision, Earth's leaders were divided. Some saw the alliance with the Silacene as their best chance for survival and advancement. Others feared it would mean the end of humanity as they knew it. In the end, it was Ilara who tipped the scales. Standing before the United Earth Council, she spoke passionately about the potential of this alliance. "We stand at a crossroads," she declared, her voice ringing out across the chamber. "We can choose fear, isolation, and eventual extinction, or we can embrace this opportunity to learn to grow, to become something greater than we ever imagined." She paused, looking each council member in the eye. "The path ahead will not be easy. We will face challenges beyond anything in our history, but isn't that what humanity does best? We adapt, we overcome, and now we have the chance to do so on a cosmic scale." As murmurs of agreement spread through the council, Ilara knew they had made their choice. Humanity would step boldly into the galactic arena, hand in hand with their new alien allies. But even as plans were made and agreements drawn up, a shadow loomed on the horizon. For not all races viewed Earth's emergence with such optimism, and as news of the human-Silacene alliance spread across the stars, other darker forces began to stir. The true test of humanity's worth was about to begin. The first signs of trouble came 6 months into the human-Silacene alliance. Earth had undergone a rapid transformation, with alien technology revolutionizing everything from energy production to medical care. The first volunteer integrations had been a success, producing hybrid beings of incredible capability. But not everyone was pleased with these developments. Ilara stood in the newly constructed Galactic Communications Center, her brow furrowed as she studied the holographic star map before her. Red markers pulsed ominously, indicating the approach of multiple unidentified fleets. "They're converging from 3 different sectors," Admiral Zao observed, her voice grim. "Whoever they are, they're coordinating their efforts." As if on cue, the comm system crackled to life. A harsh, guttural voice filled the room, automatically translated into English. "Attention, creatures of Earth and Silacene traitors. You have upset the balance of this sector. Your reckless advancement cannot be allowed to continue. Surrender the Crucible and dissolve your alliance or face annihilation." A tense silence fell over the room. Ilara exchanged glances with Zarteth, her Silacene counterpart. The crystalline being's form shimmered with agitation. "We knew this might happen," Zarteth said, its voice a symphony of chimes. "There are those who fear change, who would rather see promising species eliminated than risk upheaval." Admiral Zao's jaw clenched. "Can we fight them?" Ilara shook her head. "Not directly, not yet. Even with Silacene technology, we're outmatched." But her eyes lit up as an idea formed. "What if we could show them we're not a threat? Prove our worth beyond a shadow of a doubt?" Zarteth's glowing orbs pulsed with interest. "You have a plan." Ilara nodded, her mind racing. "The Rosetta Sphere. We've only scratched the surface of its capabilities. What if we could use it not as a weapon, but as a tool for communication, to bridge the gap between species?" For the next several days, as the enemy fleets drew ever closer, Ilara and a joint human-Silacene team worked feverishly. They delved deeper into the sphere systems than ever before, unlocking hidden protocols and long-dormant subroutines. Finally, mere hours before the invading armada would reach Earth, Ilara made the breakthrough they'd been hoping for. "It's not just a repository of knowledge," she explained to the hastily assembled War Council. "It's a nexus point, a way to connect minds across vast distances. If we can tap into that network, we might be able to make them understand us, and we them." Admiral Zhao frowned. "And if we fail?" Ilara met her gaze steadily. "Then at least we tried for peace before resorting to war." As the enemy ships entered the solar system, tensions reached a fever pitch. Military forces around the world stood ready, knowing they faced impossible odds. The Silacene fleet, vastly outnumbered, took up defensive positions around Earth. In a secure bunker deep beneath the surface, Ilara and Zartef made final preparations. The Rosetta Sphere hummed with power, tendrils of energy arcing between it, and a complex array of human and Silacine technology. "Are you sure about this?" Zartef asked, its crystalline form vibrating with concern. "The strain on your organic mind could be severe." Ilara managed a small smile. "No, I'm not sure, but I am certain we have to try." With a deep breath, she placed her hands on the sphere. Zartef did the same, its crystalline appendages intertwining with her fingers. As one, they activated the ancient device. The world around them fell away. Ilara found herself once again in the cosmic void, but this time she wasn't alone. Countless minds pressed in around her, human, Silacine, and a vast array of alien consciousnesses she could scarcely comprehend. At the forefront were the attacking species, the warlike Vrexen, the hive-minded Kuth, and the coldly logical meritocracy of San. Their hostility radiated like a physical force. Ilara steeled herself and projected her thoughts outward. She showed them humanity's history, its triumphs and failures, its capacity for both great good and terrible evil. She shared the wonder of discovery, the joy of creation, the strength found in diversity. Through her connection with Zartef, she also conveyed the Silacine's journey, their near extinction, their transformation, and their renewed hope through alliance with humanity. The alien minds recoiled at first, overwhelmed by the torrent of thoughts and emotions, but slowly understanding began to dawn. They saw the potential in this union of biological ingenuity and crystalline adaptation. They recognized the unique perspectives humanity could bring to the galactic community. And most importantly, they realized that this fledgling alliance was not a threat, but an opportunity. A chance for growth, for change, for a new era of cooperation. As the psychic maelstrom subsided, Ilara felt a shift in the cosmic landscape. The hostility of the invading fleets had been replaced by cautious curiosity. Not friendship, not yet, but a willingness to talk rather than fight. With a jolt, Ilara found herself back in her physical body. Alarms blared around her, medical staff rushing to stabilize both her and Zartef. But even through the haze of pain and exhaustion, she managed a triumphant smile. "Tell the Admiral," she gasped, "the enemy fleet is standing down." Tell the Admiral," she gasped, "the enemy fleet is standing down. We've bought ourselves a chance." As Ilara slipped into unconsciousness, the fate of Earth hung in the balance. But the seeds of understanding had been planted, and the course of galactic history was about to change forever. Part 5. The Transformation. Ilara awoke to a world transformed. As she recovered from the immense psychic strain of the Rosetta Sphere interface, humanity had taken its first tentative steps onto the galactic stage. The once hostile alien fleets now orbited Earth peacefully, engaged in cautious but productive talks with human and Silacine representatives. The Vrexen, impressed by humanity's courage, offered military alliance. The Quoth, fascinated by human individuality, proposed cultural exchanges. Even the logical meritocracy of San begrudgingly admitted that humanity's potential outweighed the perceived threat. But it was the Rosetta Sphere itself that held the key to humanity's true transformation. "We've only scratched the surface of its capabilities," Dr. Liamoto explained excitedly as Ilara toured the new Galactic Integration Center. "The sphere isn't just a database or a communication device. It's a tool for guided evolution, left behind by some long-vanished precursor race." Ilara's eyes widened as she took in the implications. "You mean?" Yamoto nodded, barely containing his enthusiasm. "We can use it to direct our own evolution, to overcome the limitations of our biology while retaining the essence of what makes us human." The debates that followed were fierce and wide-ranging. Some feared losing their humanity, becoming something unrecognizable. Others saw it as the next step in human progress, a way to transcend their earthly limitations. In the end, it was decided that the choice would be left to each individual. Those who wished to remain fully human could do so. Others could opt for various degrees of enhancement or integration with alien biology. Ilara, after much soul-searching, chose to undergo the process herself. She emerged changed, her body a seamless blend of organic and crystalline structures. Her mind expanded, able to process information at incredible speeds and connect directly with vast interstellar networks. As the years passed, Earth became a shining beacon of innovation and cooperation in the galaxy. The Human-Silacine Alliance, strengthened by their shared ordeal, led the way in diplomatic efforts to unite diverse species. New technologies flourished, born from the fusion of multiple alien sciences. Faster-than-light travel became commonplace, opening up the cosmos for exploration and colonization. Artistic and cultural exchanges led to entirely new forms of expression, transcending the boundaries of individual species. But it wasn't all smooth sailing. Some human purists refused to accept the changes, retreating to isolated colonies to preserve their original forms. Conflicts arose with other, more xenophobic alien races who saw the human-led alliance as a threat to the old order. Through it all, Ilara found herself at the center of events, her unique perspective bridging the gap between humanity's past and its stellar future. She worked tirelessly to ensure that in reaching for the stars, they didn't lose sight of what made them human. Decades after the fateful discovery on Kepler 186f, Ilara stood on the observation deck of Unity Station, a massive space habitat orbiting a distant star. Below her, representatives from 100 alien races mingled with humans of every description, from unmodified Earthborn to highly integrated hybrids. "Quite a view, isn't it?" a familiar voice chimed. Zartef approached, its crystalline form shimmering with hues of blue and gold. Ilara smiled, feeling the comforting resonance of her old friend's presence. "Sometimes I can hardly believe how far we've come," she admitted. "There were moments when I thought we wouldn't survive, let alone thrive like this." Zartef's form rippled in what Ilara had come to recognize as laughter. "You organics and your doubts. We Silacine calculated a 62.8% chance of a positive outcome." "Only 62.8%. Ilara raised an eyebrow. "And you still chose to ally with us." "Sometimes," Zartef said softly, "the greatest rewards come from the greatest risks." As if to punctuate the Silacine's words, a brilliant flash of light caught their attention. A new ship was emerging from the nearby Jumpgate, its design unlike anything Ilara had seen before. "Ah," Zartef hummed with excitement. "Right on schedule. The Andromeda delegation has arrived." Ilara's breath caught in her throat. After years of preparation, humanity and its allies were about to make first contact with an entirely new galaxy. The true scope of the cosmos was unfolding before them, full of untold wonders and challenges. As she prepared to greet the new arrivals, Ilara felt a profound sense of gratitude for the twists of fate that had led her to that barren world so long ago, for the courage and vision of those who had stood with her in humanity's darkest hour, and for the boundless potential that lay ahead, waiting to be explored. The journey that had begun with a single curious human stepping onto an alien world had led to this, a future where the stars themselves were the limit, and humanity's spirit of adventure and innovation would help shape the destiny of galaxies. Ilara squared her shoulders, a smile playing on her lips. Whatever came next, she knew one thing for certain: the greatest chapters of humanity's story was still waiting to be written. As the Andromeda ship docked and its exotic passengers began to disembark, Ilara stepped forward to greet them. In that moment, she embodied the very best of what humanity had become, a bridge between worlds, a testament to the power of curiosity, courage, and cooperation. The next great adventure was about to begin.